many more her father could lay claim to. I told Sonya I would stop by to see if there's anything she needs help with before next Saturday. You haven't forgotten her wedding next weekend. The two of you are planning to attend, aren't you? Ronald Andrews shrugged wide shoulders.
I guess we'll be there, since it seems she's serious about marrying that man. I'm sure if she had looked hard enough, she could have found a nice man in her own race to marry.
Courtney rolled her eyes again. She knew her parents weren't too keen at the notion of their niece in an interracial marriage. Well, as far as Courtney was concerned, Mike Kelly was a hunk, as well as a great catch. Since meeting him, Sonya had wasted too much time before accepting that true love was colorblind. And it was true love. Courtney felt it each and every time she saw Sonya and Mike together. And it was also scorching hot love. You couldn't help but feel the heat they generated whenever they were in the same room.
But then you haven't found one, so it might not be so easy after all.
Courtney's father's comment cut into her thoughts. I haven't found what?
A man to marry. A black man.
She frowned. I wasn't aware I was supposed to be looking. Of course you're looking, her mother jumped in to say. You'll be 30 on your next birthday, and need I remind you that's only a few months away. You need a husband. Ron and I need grandkids. Courtney started to say it would be just her luck to screw up and get someone like her father, and decided not to even bother. He would take that remark as a compliment. It was a good thing she didn't believe all men were like him and her Uncle Joe Morrison, Sonya's dad. At least her Aunt Peggy had had the good sense to finally get over Uncle Joe and move on, even if it had taken her a while to do so. She had almost driven Sonya batty in the process. Joe had destroyed his marriage of over 30 years, as well as his wife's self-esteem, when he had asked her for a divorce to marry a woman 34 years his junior, a woman younger than his own daughter.
So what do you think of your mother's and my plans to improve our marriage?
I told you what I thought, Dad. I would feel differently if I truly thought the two of you intended to make a change, but I have no reason to think that you will. Her mother lifted her chin stubbornly and said, This time we're going to prove you wrong, Courtney. She smiled sadly at them. It would mean a lot to me if you did. Courtney arrived at Sonya's home with a gigantic headache. Her cousin opened the door, took one look at her, and arched a concerned brow. Then she pulled her into the house and closed the door behind her. Another migraine? Sonya asked, reaching out and gently pressing her fingertips to Courtney's temples. Yes. Brought on by what? Another episode of Ron and Barbara Andrews trying to drive me nuts, Courtney said. Sonya released an agitated breath. What are those two up to now? They want to make their marriage work, like such a thing can actually happen, Courtney answered, tossing her purse on the sofa in disgust. I can't believe Mom continues to let Dad use her. If that's love, then it's abusive love. Calm down. If you keep this up, your head will only hurt worse. You can't let what your parents do get to you. Trust me, I found that out the hard way. I know you're right, but I'm tired of seeing them do each other in. Sonya grabbed her hand. Come on into the kitchen with me. I got just the thing for you. Courtney allowed herself to be dragged off. And what's that? Butter pecan ice cream, our favorite. I was about to eat a bowl, so now you can join me. When they reached the kitchen, Courtney shook her head and grinned. How can you indulge in a bowl of ice cream less than a week before your wedding? Aren't you afraid of gaining weight and that you won't be able to fit into your dress? No. Any excess calories I take in, I'll burn off later tonight with Mike. Courtney laughed. You're incorrigible. Sonya grinned as she pulled the carton of ice cream from the freezer. Can't help it when it comes to Mike. He's the best there is, in or out of bed. However, I like our bedtime activities the best. Courtney leaned against the counter and watched as Sonya filled 2 bowls. Her cousin stood 5'9", with medium brown skin, features that would make any man take a second look, a short and sassy haircut that emphasized her sophistication, and eyes so dark they almost looked black, not to mention a shapely figure. Courtney had always thought Sonya was simply beautiful, and despite a 5-year difference in their ages,